And here we are towards the end of September. Can you believe it? It's gotten crazy. First day of fall and everything has gone by. So just kind of looking back on a few things, our family's never been fair goers, and we frequented county fairs and the state fair just on rare occasions. But ironically, Ralph and I bought our first home in Monticello, which was situated across from the fairgrounds, which means we had front row seats for the Great Jones County Fair for about 6 years. And we maybe attended the fair once, maybe twice. Naturally, we had to deal with all the traffic, the noise, the lights of the Midway right across from our home, as well as the unmistakable roar of the demolition derby races. In September of last year, we spent a long weekend with our family in Spencer attending the Clay County Fair. And we had a fantastic time, probably because we went with our kids and grandkids. We went several times, both in the day and at night, watching the kids on rides and walking through the exhibits, and we vowed we would be back. So we made a special point of going again this year. The weather was fantastic. We saw so much more of the fair and the exhibits. The grandkids had a blast on the rides, and it was so fun watching Penny Joe in the barn with the animals. Stella had been anticipating this weekend for months and knew exactly which ride she wanted to go on and set her sights on the most challenging ones for her 10-year-old self. In a well-known biblical passage, the prophet Daniel also exemplified great daring when he was thrown into the lion's den. We're all pretty familiar with that story. However, what led up to that punishment was one of his most faith-filled moments it was a faith-filled moment of courage. He and many other young men were brought from Jerusalem into exile in Babylonia and lived separately from their families and fellow Jews. They were fed, taught, and lived amongst their captors, but Daniel was one of the few who did not give up worshiping the one true God or forget his commandments. At the prompting of his devious advisors, King Darius signed an edict ordering everyone to bow down and pray only to him and to no other God or anybody else, which Daniel did not obey. Risking his very life, when Daniel learned the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day, he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God just as he had done before. Talk about courage. Because he refused to pray to anyone other than the one true God and would not change his daily prayer habits, Daniel showed that his faith was stronger than his fear, that nothing could shake or change what his faith prompted him to do. What a great example of faithful prayer. Stella also faced her fears that night at the fair and rode 2 very scary rides, twice on one of them, and loved every single moment. She was literally dancing as she stepped off the rides, thrilled to her very core that she decided to take a risk and saw it through. May we show that kind of courage when it comes to sharing our faith with others, telling someone about Jesus who's in need of his mercy and grace, and praying to God our Father, whether it's comfortable, fits in our schedule, or somebody else tells us it's the wrong thing to do. Pray that when you have that chance to do the right thing, God will lead the way and you will follow. Have a blessed day. Bye.